Hi everyone, Monique here with Little Gems Creations 1. Today we are going to be making a cute little crochet character, and we're going to start that in just a moment. Hi everyone, Monique here, Little Gems Creations 1. Today we are going to make a little plant guy, girl, whatever. You're going to need a 5mm crochet hook. Today I'm using Red Heart Comfort. It is called Shamrock Truffle, and it is a 4-ply medium worsted weight yarn. You're also going to need a darning needle and some kind of scrap wool for a flower. Okay, so let's get started. We're going to start by crossing our yarn, and we are going to chain 2. Okay, then we're going to go in that first chain and catch a tail, and we're going to do 6 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. We're going to slip stitch into that first stitch, and then chain 1. Now we're going to go 2 single crochets in each one around for a total of 12 stitches. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. We're going to slip stitch into that first one and then chain 1. So if we did our center right, you see how we have a bit of an opening? If we did it right, when we pull the tail at the back, it should cinch right up, which it did. And if it doesn't, don't freak out. You can just sew it shut with that tail later. So now we're going to do multiples of 3 until we get to 18 for our 3rd round. 4th round, we're going to do multiples of 4 until we've got 24 stitches. We're always adding 6 stitches. And then we will do 5 until we get to 30 stitches. So when I say multiples of 3, I mean 2 in the first stitch, 2 single crochets, and then 3 is a single crochet in a stitch, and then we go 2 again, and then 1, and then 2 again, and then 1, and then 2 again, and then 1 for the whole round until you get to the other side. Okay, so you do that until you've got 30 stitches and meet me back. Okay, so I've done my 5 rounds and I'm just slip stitching. Actually, no. So where I would slip stitch, I'm not going to. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just putting single crochets where I would have slip stitched, but now I'm just going to go around in a spiral until I have 10 rows. So there's no more joining. We're just going round and round and round and round and round until you have 10 rows. So when I say you have 10 rows, so this is going to start like coning, right? Like to make a ball. So this one ridge counts 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So when you count, no matter where, and it's 10 rows, then meet me back. So I've done my 10 rows. So the way I count is on this side 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And on this side 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that's how I know we're there. I'm going to make my loop big. At this point, I'm going to take my darning needle and I'm going to sew in this. Okay, so pull tight, and remember, if it didn't close properly, this would be when you would have a chance to sew it closed. Mine closed, so I'm happy. So I always go a little bit back and then a little bit forward. So I go a little bit back from where my thread's coming out, and then I go past it. And it's called a back stitch. And do that. There you go. Okay. So, oh, I didn't bring my scissors. Dang it. Okay. Well, you would cut that tail. Okay. Or you could leave it in. Doesn't matter. Because it's just, you're going to have to fill this later anyway. Okay. So now what we're doing for our little character here is we have made this as big as we're going to make it. So now what we're going to do is we're going to start decreasing. So we're going to do the opposite of what we did last time. So we finished off with 5 multiples of 5. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go down to 4. And the way we do that is we're going to put our yarn through, go through the next one and pull your yarn through, and then go through all 3 of those loops. And that decrease, that's 1. And then we're going to do single crochet in the next 3. So 2, 3, 4. Okay, so the 4 round we had 24, if you remember. So go through 1, go through the next. That becomes 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so we're doing multiples of 4. So 8 is, that means it's time to do another decrease. So in through 1, in through the other. So this will be 9, 10, 11, 12. Now 12 is a multiple of 4, so you know it's time to do another decrease. 12. So, and we're going to go down to 24. So 12 in through 1, in through the other. That's 13, 14, 15, and 16, which is a multiple of 4, so we know it's time to decrease again. So this will be 17, 18, 19, 20. Okay, 20 is a multiple of 4, so we know we have to decrease again. So we're going to go in through 1, in through the other, and this is 21, 22, 23, 24. Okay, so see how it's coming back in now. So we were at 24, so now we're going to start working multiples of 3, and we're going to go down to 18. So you go in the stitch, in the next stitch, and this will be 1, 2, 3. Okay, then that's a multiple of 3, so now it's time to do another decrease. So this will be 4, 5, and 6. 6 is another multiple, so it's time to decrease again. The 2 together is 7, 8, 9. Time to decrease again. 10, 11, 12, which is a multiple of 3. So 2 together again. 13, 14, 15, multiple of 3, so we got to do another decrease. 16, 17, 18, and that was our round for 3s. So now we're getting so that we're getting more and more close. So at this point, we're gonna just take a moment and grab our fiber fill. Okay, so I've got my fiber fill, and I'm just gonna stuff it. And I like to stuff these fairly full. And if you wanted to, another option besides just the fiber fill would be to take an old sock, put some rice in it, and then that would have it so that it would sit like on the bottom just fine, but it'll work. See, it's doing it already. Okay, so we did our 3s. So now we are gonna do our 2s. So what I do now that I have the fiber fill in and I pack it pretty packed is I kind of push it down with my finger as I'm going around, okay? So we're gonna do 2s. So 1 is the 2 together, and then 2. And we're gonna do up to 12 on this one. 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now we're doing another 2 together. 7 and 8 is the single. 2 together. 9, 10, oops, 10, and then 2 together. 11 and 12. Okay, so see, this is what we're getting now. Circle. Okay, so now we're doing our, we're going down to 6, so we're just doing 2 together all the way around. So 1, 2, and see I'm pushing that fiber fill down. 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay. Now, where are my scissors? I'll be right back. I have to find scissors. I think someone in my family is going to be in trouble. They touched my sewing scissors. It is not done. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to cut a tail 4 inches, 5 inches. Okay. Now we're not tying a knot yet. We are going to put our darning needle on. we go. Okay. So now, okay, so you see how our stitches, if we were to continue crocheting, are like here. So what we're going to do is we're going to pick up those stitches with our working yarn all the way around. Okay, to where our loop is, to the one even like this one right here. Okay, we're gonna pick that one up, and then we're gonna go through the loop and we're gonna pull tight. And what it's doing is it's cinched up our ball and knotted it. So now what I do is I just go back through and make my needle come out somewhere else. Pull it tight, but not too tight to distort the ball. And there we go. That is the body of our character. Okay, so you'll see the bottom is just a bit looser than the top. So I leave the top where we started as the bottom, and I'm gonna put the flower over here. So next step, we need to make arms. And so for arms, we're gonna cross our yarn. We're gonna chain 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then we're going to do one extra. Now normally we would work on the sides here, but this time we're going to turn it and we're going to work in the bumps. Okay, so in that first bump, we are going to do single crochet. 1, and then we'll do another single crochet in the next bump. 2. Now we're going to do half double crochets for 2. So go through all 3 loops. 1, yarn over into the stitch, and go through all 3 loops. Those are 2 half double crochets. Now we're doing double crochets. We're doing 2 of them. 1, 2. Now we're going to reverse. We're going to do 2 half double crochets. Go through all 3 loops. And then another half double crochet. Now we're going to do, we're going to do single crochet. And then we're going to do this one here, we're going to do a single crochet. Then we're going to do another single crochet. So that's 2, same stitch, 2 single crochets and a third, or no, so 2 single crochets. Then we're turning our work, and in that same spot, we're doing another single crochet. Okay, and then in the next stitch, we're doing a single crochet. And then we're doing a half double crochet. And if you are noticing the pattern here, 2 half double crochet. Okay, and now double crochet. 1, and then another double crochet. 2. Now we're going to do a half double crochet. 1, and another half double crochet. 2, and then a single crochet. 1, and then another single crochet. And that's going to be back where you did that first single crochet. And then you're going to do another single crochet, Same stitch, and then you're just slip stitching into that first stitch over there. Whoops, 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 all tangled. Okay, slip stitch, make a tail. A pretty long one, make it about 5 inches again. And there we go. There is one of our arms. It's a leaf arm. So you got to make a second arm. So do that and meet me back. So now you should have a ball and 2 leaves. Next, we're going to make some eyes. So cross your yarn. We're going to chain 2. And you're going to see this just like we started this. So into that first chain and put your tail over, we're going to single crochet 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, and then we're going to slip stitch. Now, we're going to leave a long tail again, about 5 inches, because we're going to use it to sew the eye on. So pull your tail through the loop and pull tight. Now, if your tail worked, this should cinch up, which it did for me. Okay, now you want a little bit of scrap black. I'm actually going to use a bit of a gray because it's what I've got handy. And I just have to find the end, which sometimes can be a challenge. It is. Okay. So this is interesting. So I'm just going to cut about, I don't know, 4 inches. Put it on my darning needle. Okay. Now, taking our eyeball, we're going up through the center there, okay? Not all the way through. Leave a bit here, okay? Now we're going to do what is called a French knot. So, you take your needle and face it to the side or up, and you wrap it. So I'm wrapping it once, twice, 3 times, okay? Now, I'm going to take that and go, I'm going to catch a little bit of the white, but not much. And I'm going to bring that down my needle. Okay. And then I'm going to pull my needle through. It's not easy. Come on. Because you don't want to pull the knot through, which I think I have done. Come on, come on, come on, come on. There we go. Okay. And there. Pull it. Whoa, 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 whoa. I pulled it through. Don't do that. Dang it. There we go. Okay. So, and the reason that happened is because I didn't pull this tight enough. So pull that center one nice and tight. Okay, so now we're going to just do some knotting back here. So you're using your short tail, your center tail, to knot this so that your pupil stays there. And then you see, take your needle off and tie the other one. Okay. And now this mess back here can just be snipped. Leaving that long tail to sew it on. And if you have any black parts that are too long, they stick out past, then just give them a bit more of a trim. Okay, and then what we're gonna do is we're gonna sew that eye on to our guy. Okay, so make another eye and meet me back. So we've got our 2 eyes, our 2 leaves, and our body, head, whatever. So now the final step, this is the hair or the flower. So you're going to see something cool here. It's going to look very much the same. Chain 2. Now, instead of putting 6 in the circle, we're going to put 8. So catch that tail, and we're going to do 8 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now you can shimmy them over. Now slip stitch into this first stitch. Okay, now chain up 2. 1, 2. Now where you have chained up 2, you're going to put 4 double crochets, all in the same spot. So that chain up 2 counts as 1, and we're doing 4 more for a total of 5. 3, 4, 5. Okay, we're going to pull our loop kind of big. We're going to count back 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, which is the chain 2, the top of the chain 2. We're going to put our hook there. Okay, and now we're going to grab that loop and we're going to do it as if it's a slip stitch. There we go. And then we're going to chain 1, and that's our first petal. Now 5 double crochets in the next stitch. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Make a big loop, count back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In that 5th one, put your hook, grab that loop, tighten it, bring it through there like a slip stitch, and chain 1, and that's the next petal. So I want you to do this for all 8 stitches, so you should have 8 petals, and then meet me back. So I've done all 8 of my petals, and I just did my chain 1, and so now what I'm going to do is, you see back here, right back there, I'm just going to slip stitch into there. Okay, slip. Okay, now leave a big, I probably go 8 inches tail, because you're going to use it to sew onto your character. Pull your tail through your loop, pull tight. Okay, so we've got all the components. So now what we're going to do is we're going to pull this center tight, and we're going to sew it so that it doesn't loosen. And if you're wondering, I don't use magic knots. I find every time I use a magic knot that they come undone. So I don't use them. That's a personal preference. If you want to, I'm sure you can do this with the magic knot, but I won't be the one to show you how to do it. So I always go a little bit back and then forward, and a little bit back and forward. And that's called back stitching. And that way you don't have to do a whole bunch of knots. Okay, so I'm cutting that. Now, for assembly, we're going to start with the flower. So you see how this is nice and tight and rounded, and this side isn't so much? So this is the side that we're going to sew our flower hair on. Okay, if you wanted to make the flower bigger, you could do more single crochets in the center, that kind of thing. I'm not doing that this time. Excuse my nails. I usually have them pretty and painted, but I have been doing a lot of recording today and errands and shopping, and my nails did not get done. Okay. There, that's better. Okay. So make sure you have this on your circle the way you want. And then if you look, see there's kind of a ridge here. I'm just going to attach that ridge to the green. Okay? And I'm just going to do that all the way around. So I'm kind of moving the petals out of my way while I do that. And then I go through. Okay, and try and keep it centered. If you feel like you've moved or something, then just take a moment to check it. Be sure it's where you want it. Okay, so we will sew this on, and sew it on nice and sturdy, especially if you're giving this to a kid or you're selling it at a craft sale or something and it might end up with a kid. You want to be sure that it lasts. And kids pull things. Okay, so see how we're getting that on there? Just keep going around and around through that ridge. See, and that's how it's looking. Oops. There we go. I'm doing this around a camera, so it's a little bit more challenging for me. See? There we go. Isn't that cute? I just love it. And I've never made one of these before. I just got inspired. I made one of these flowers for a hat. You'll see it in one of my other videos. And I was like, that would look so cute as hair. And then I was like, or on a flower person. Okay. So we've got that done. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to go into the green and catch the purple again. Whoops. Okay, catch the purple. There, see how I did that? Okay. Okay, so now when my loop comes up, before I pull it tight, I'm going to go through the loop once, go through the loop twice, same direction, okay? So that's what it looks like. And now I'm going to pull tight. And you want that knot to go under. So what we're going to do now is we're going to pass it through the purple. We're going to make it come out some weird place over here. There, see? And that way it's hidden. Make sure it's tight. Okay. And then we're going to snip over here. And then we're just going to make that go away. There we go. Our hair is on. Now, time for eyeballs. So you decide where you want to place the eyeball. So you can decide to do them close together. You can decide to do them far apart. Whatever you think. And what I'm doing is I'm going in, just like I did with the other one, in the green and out through a stitch. In the green, out through a stitch. in a green out through the stitch. We're going to do this all the way around, which isn't much of a round. Okay. In a stitch, around, in a stitch, or out in the green, out through a stitch, in the green, out through a stitch, in the green, out through a stitch, back to where we started from. Okay, so there's one eye. Okay, and then we are going to make a little knot, just like we did last time, in through the loop twice. 1, 2. We're going to pull it tight, and then we're going to stitch through and make our needle come out somewhere weird. Okay, and there. And we're gonna cut that where it came out, and we'll make it disappear. There we go. Okay, so there's one eyeball. And then you sew on your other eyeball wherever you want it. So do that, meet me back. Okay, so that's how I decided to place my eyes. So now we're going to deal with the leaves. So we should have a long tail and a short tail. The short tail we can just hide like we would any other tail. Okay, so go here a few times and then go back a bit and go past, and then go back a bit and go past. Okay, don't want to distort the stitches. Then I'll go maybe around there, and then I'll look if this is snip. So I'm going to show you one leaf, and you can do the last one on your own. So now the leaves are kind of the arms, right? So here's what we're going to do. On the side, let's see, about, I don't know, should we go high? Yeah, let's go high. Round by the flower. And again, you're gonna have to decide on placement. This is your creation. It's just a goofy little thing that I thought would look neat. I'm just whip stitching it on with that tail. So, couple on this side, couple on that side. Ooh, don't catch the flower. Okay, and then we'll just leave it loose and floppy. It almost looks like an ear. Okay, and then for the final one, we make a loop, go through it once, go through it twice, pull tight, and then disappear our yarn. Okay. Make that go away. And then you do the other one. And there you go. That is our flower buddy. Do the, oh, let's put a mouth on him. How about some pink? Let's put a mouth. So I'll go in with the pink, down, I'll leave that out a bit, go up, then go across, and then go back, and then go out where we came in. Pulled it too tight. There, out where we came in. And then we'll just give this a little knot. Okay, little knot. Okay, and then we'll snip this short and make our yarn disappear. There. Ha! Isn't it cute? Okay, and then see how I've got that little pink? Just to make it go away. There we go. Okay, put on his other leaf, and there you've got your flower person. It's a little, it's a little corny. Maybe I would put the leaf a little lower because this looks more like an ear. Maybe it'll look different when I've got the other one on. Or maybe I should make some leaf feet. Ooh. Anyway, do what you want with it. I'll show you how I finish it in a picture at the end of the video. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe. Bye now.